We shall move on to the another problem. So this is an example wherein which we have to find out transfer function using Mason's gain formula. So given is this problem, we have to find the transfer function. So first and the foremost thing we have to do here is to write down the Mason's gain formula, which is given by for all values summation for all values of k, pk delta k upon delta. So as we know earlier, let's start finding out forward paths. Forward paths are represented by P. So let's see how many forward paths are there. So this is G1, G2, G3, G4. Forward path is a path from input node to output node without entering to a particular node more than once. So I can consider this to be a forward path, with forward path gain being G1, G2, G3, G4. And one more, let's see. This is G5, G6, G7, G8. So the second forward path being G5, G6, G7, G8. Let's see whether any other forward paths are there in this problem. So this is the one. Suppose if I take this, the direction is in the opposite. So I can't consider this. Again, if I consider here and this direction is. So we have only two forward paths here. So next is to find out the loops. So a loop is a one which start at the same node and end at the same node. So G1 minus H1. So I can treat this to be a loop with minus G2 into H1. Loop gain being minus G2 H1. L2 is equal to G3 minus H2 minus G3 H2. Then L3 being G6 minus H3. So minus G6 H3. Then one more G7 minus H4. L4 being minus G7 H4. Any other loops? Let's see. So if you consider this the opposite, so no, we have just only 4 loops here. Now is to find out the non-touching loops. So as we are all aware, so this becomes L1, this becomes L2, this becomes L3, this becomes L4. Non-touching, by definition, non-touching loops are those loops which does not share a common node. So let's take a first combination of non-touching loops. So L1 and L2. If I consider this L1 and L2, you can see here at this particular node they are sharing these two loops are sharing the same common node. So hence I can't treat this combination of L1 and L2 to be non-touching to each other. So what we can do here is L1, L3. Consider these two combination. Yes, we can consider this to be the combination, that is L1 and L3 as the first combination of non-touching loops, taken 2 loops at a time. So this becomes minus, minus becomes plus. So obviously the loop gains being G2, G6, H1, H3. Then another combination is L1 and L4. So I can, if I take these two, they both are loops which are not touching to each other, or they are not sharing a common node. Hence one more combination is L1 and L4, and the corresponding loop gains being G2, G7, H1, H4. On the similar lines, L2 and L3 are not touching to each other, L2 and L4 are not touching to each other. So L2, L3, L2 having gain of G3, G6, H2, H3. This minus and this minus becomes plus, so hence I have a positive sign over here. Then another one is L2 and L4 combination. L2 having G3, L4 having G7, H2 and H4. So totally we have 4 combination of non-touching loops taken 2 at a time. Next is to find out delta k or delta 1 and delta 2. So delta, uh, let's find out delta and then we shall come back to delta 1. So delta 1 is 1 minus of summation of loops. So totally we have how many? 4 loops. L1 plus, L2 plus, L3 plus, L4. Alternate sign, let us plus. Summation of non-touching loops taken 2 at a time. So L1, L3 plus L1, L4 plus L2, L3 plus L2, L4. 3 loops, non-touching loops taken 3 at a time. Suppose if I take 3 loops, definitely it's not possible because it's going to share. So that's why we are ended up with only non-touching loops taken 2 loops at a time over here. Now let's calculate what is delta 1. Delta 1 is same as delta, but make sure that you need to consider loops which are not touching to that particular kth forward path. So 1 minus of 1 minus of those loops which are not touching to G1, G2, G3, G4. So this is supposed to be the forward path for this. I need to consider the loops which are not touching to. So obviously it will be L3 plus L4, the summation, plus non-touching combination, non-touching loop combination here. So the non-touching combination here is L1, L1, L3, L1, L4, L2, L3, L2, L4. If you see here L2, L1 are touching to this, so hence I can't write none of these combinations here. So this becomes just 0 here. Then on similar lines, 1 minus of. So this is supposed to be the second path. So to this path, which are the loops which are not touching to each other? That is L1 and L2. The combination of non-touchings are 0. So this is how we calculate delta 1 and delta 2. We have delta here, we have forward paths, loops, then non-touching loop combination. All that we have to do here is to just substitute here in the Mason's gain formula. So this becomes P1 delta 1 plus P2 delta 2 upon delta, because since we have only 2 forward paths, P1 delta 1, P2 delta 2. So P1 is G1, G2, G3, G4, and delta 1 is 1 minus of L3. Let's write what is L3. L3 is minus G6 H3, then plus L4 is minus G7 H4. So this is the combination of delta 1 plus P2. P2 is G5, G6, G7, G8 into delta 2. So delta 2 being 1 minus of L1. L1 is supposed to be minus G2 H1 plus, once again, delta 2 is given by 1 minus of L1, L2. L2 is minus G3 H2. So this is how we write the P1 and delta 1 combination, P2 and delta 2 combination. Now delta is this one being 1 minus of all the loops here, the loops being minus G2 H1 plus minus G2 H2 plus minus G6 H3 plus minus G7 H4, then plus the combination of L1 L3. L3 is G2 G6 H1 H3 plus G2 G7 H1 H4 plus G3 G6 H2 H3 plus G3 G7 H2 H4. So this is the combination of loops which are not touching to each other. The final step here being, just simplify here, G1, G2, G3, G4 into 1 is 1. So this becomes minus into minus plus. So plus, or you can just write first the inner product, that is simplification, which are in the brackets. 1 plus G6H3 plus into minus becomes minus G7. That okay, so plus into minus minus, minus into minus plus, so plus G7H4. So this is the combination, plus G5, G6, G7, G8 into 1 plus G2H1, plus into minus minus, minus into minus, again it becomes plus G3H2. This is how we are going to write. Then upon 1 minus of minus into minus plus G2H1, plus into minus minus, minus into minus, it becomes plus G2H2, plus into minus minus, minus into minus, again it becomes plus G6H3. Then again minus here, minus into minus, plus G7H4. Then plus G2, G6, H1, H3 plus G2, G7, H1, H4 plus G3, G6, H2, H3 plus G3, G7, H2, H4. Further, if you want, you can just simplify this and you can keep the final answer will be this one. So till now we have solved only 3 problems of signal program. I hope you people have understood. Any doubts regarding this, you can just drop a message in WhatsApp so that we can have one more class wherein which we can clear all our doubts. So in this current situation of COVID-19, let's not stop our teaching. Be safe and be healthy. Thank you so much.